It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NBA.
James the rebound. U.S. can tie or take the lead. Durant thought about it. James, the drive. James, the finish. Curry for the lead. Oh, kaboom!
We said we was going to get our Steph Curry moment.
32 for Steph Curry. James, the rebound. Looking to run. Booker and Durant with him. James. Oh! LeBron James. Le Captain America. Putting the country on his back. Durant. He wants the ISO. He's got the ISO. 5 to shoot. The cross. The sauce.
And he's not nice.
The flash. Micic's going to have to hurry. Bogdanovich puts it up. Short. And the United States trailing by as many as 17. Back from underneath the grave. Advance to the gold medal game.
The United States beat Serbia 95-91, a wild fourth quarter rally. Serbia won each of the first 3 quarters. The U.S. won the fourth quarter 32-15. Put the pedal to the metal, PK. That was a heck of a rally right there.
We was waiting for that Steph Curry moment. It's like Dwayne Wade said, we was waiting, and we's got it. Yeah, a lot of things. It was a fun game.
Curry had 20 at the half, 36 for the game. He was 9 of 14 from 3. 36 points, 8 rebounds when they needed it.
There's 3 people that live in my household, and the fourth quarter, all 3 were locked down watching it. 2 that normally wouldn't be paying a whole lot of attention suddenly got into it, rooting for the U.S. of A., as I was for sure. Many things to go on in that game. I thought of Pace Mannion, who's told us 100 times that the game overseas is far more physical and different here, and it was overseas, and it seemed like it was ref that way, it was played that way. Another thing that came to mind from the Jazz perspective, the guys who were doing it in the fourth quarter were only 39, 35, and 34. You got like 3 guys that add up and don't even get to that age, so youth doesn't really win that much, particularly at that time. Other stuff that hit my mind, Serbia just seemed like just a little bit of a player short. You know, Jokic 0 for 6 from 3, but he ended up with a lot of, at least 3, if not 4 or 5 of those at end of shot clocks that he had to take.
Difficult.
Yeah, so there was little chance for them to go in. Bogdanovich wasted too much energy running around, smacking his head every time he made a shot, doing a lot of yakking. Guy said to me...
Bogdanovich led him with 20.
Yeah.
So he made a bunch of hoops, but I get your point, yeah.
He said, good whoop-de-doo for the U.S., so they needed a guy from Cameroon to bail him out, speaking, of course,
of Embiid.
And I thought, well, they got 2 players that aren't from the U.S., because I've said all along I do not believe LeBron is from planet Earth. The way he plays.
The bucket he got in transition late in the game, was that not just vintage LeBron James? Have we not seen that?
He's a locomotive.
100 times, and he had the full head of steam, and there were 2 defenders, and they were just not going to stop him.
No, not at all.
There's no way.
It just seems like anytime he wants, if he just gets going at half court, that he's an immovable, unstoppable object.
He ended up with a triple-double. 16 points, 12 boards, 10 assists.
He has been for many, many years, and he's not what he was, I guess you could say, but he's
still pretty
top
awesome.
2 or 3 player. Somebody I heard said, well, once they realized to stop listening to Kerr and listening to Carmelo Anthony, who was sitting courtside, then they were able to take off. But fun all around, and now they got to find a way to beat France.
95-91, that was a wild victory for the United States. So on to the gold medal game, France, Saturday afternoon. And France, I don't know, they were in the gold medal game 3 years ago in Tokyo, but Germany and Canada were talked about more, and France has beaten both of them. France beat Germany 73-69. Rudy's gotten injured and only played 5 minutes in that game, so don't know how much we'll see of Gobert in the gold medal game. But we'll see Victor Wembanyama, Big Vic, So you got that going for you. New York Knicks guard and new team captain Jalen Brunson gave the team a $113 million discount and signing a new deal now versus waiting, and said he has no regrets. Quote, I think about every decision that I make, and I'm completely comfortable with what I've done. Obviously, I'm well off. Myself and my family, we're obviously well off, so that's first and foremost, but I want to win, and I want to win here.
No, here's where you are, so where else would you win?
Shades of Tom Brady giving the Patriots more to work with under the cap. Put a better team around me. Now let's see what the Knicks do with.
He's an East Coast guy. He's been there his whole life. His father, he's in the South Jersey area, which is more the Philly, but still, he gets it. New York's only a couple hours away, of course. You wouldn't want to win there, especially if that's the team you're playing with. All the stars will come out.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
I went to high school or I went to college. I don't know why I said it, but I'm just saying I don't know. I don't have a sense of urgency about getting it done.
Because it's a long-standing tradition.
Pick any reason you want.
Jerry Jones laughing and making light of the negotiations with CeeDee Lamb. That didn't seem to go over well with CeeDee Lamb. Just a little bit on social media from him.
Posted an LOL with that quote.
That means laugh out loud.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How much more would you read into it if it had been LMAO? That have taken this to a whole nother level?
Who knows?
Still waiting to sign their star quarterback and their star receiver, or are they going to let him walk and start over again? Jerry Jones doing whatever he wants with the Cowboys. Couple of exhibition games. The Giants beat the Lions 14-3. Former Ute Sione Vaki getting some time at running back, 4 carries, 29 yards, and he recovered a fumble after his team threw an interception, and on return there was a fumble. And Vaki, shades of his play at safety. Ball hawk, PK. Got the ball
So
back.
you worked last night?
Not only that, I worked with a Lions fan who had on NFL Plus and was calling out every single play.
Lions fan.
Yes. Leonard.
Well, you should text me, man, so I know what's going on.
Okay.
Exhibition football.
Yeah. Full weekend of it. 3 more games today and a bunch of games Saturday. Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers has been estranged from his immediate family for most of the last decade, but a new book by Ian O'Connor called, quote, Out of Darkness, The Mystery of Aaron Rodgers, says Aaron had a meeting with his father Ed last year at the American Century Championship Golf Tournament in Lake Tahoe, and that Rodgers was playing in. His father was attending. Rodgers said in the book that he'd like to rekindle his relationship with his father. DJ PK.
Hashtag college football.
This might be the biggest practice for that as far as fall camp goes, because once you get further on into fall camp and you do some of your other scrimmages, some guys will be sat. This will be a big deal to see if our starters are where they need to be. It will be a big deal on just moving up and down the depth chart for certain guys.
Will this be fully live for everybody, including quarterbacks, to your knowledge?
I doubt we'll liven up the quarterbacks, but that will be A-Rod's decision on scrimmage time.
That's defensive coordinator Jay Hill. The importance of BYU's scrimmage tomorrow. The last best chance for guys to make a major move on the depth chart.
I don't think it's the last. I think that's a little dramatic.
Yes, this is it. Climb Y Mountain, get your binoculars, see what you can see.
But they've got opposite corner of Robinson. They had 6 guys and shuffling around a little bit. So it goes towards determining is the best way, I think, to see about potential depth chart adjustments. And do you play, how many series do you play when you get in? And so, sure, it's important. I mean, but today's important too. I guess the scrimmages are a little more important. Utah had one yesterday, and that's ultimately, if you have questions, what you can base it on. But I wouldn't go nuts and say it's definitive and cement type of thing. And then coaches have to make adjustments during the games and during game week and all that stuff. And that's where they really can get their opportunity to shine as coaches, because players have to be able to make the plays for sure, but you got to put them in a position to make the plays, and they will. I don't want to underestimate the importance of this scrimmage, but I don't want to go nuts on it either. I mean, for a quarterback, that's still the glamour position. And, yeah, it's neck and neck now. Bohannon has made significant progress. So he's got an opportunity, and just as much as Ritzlaff does. So I'd still be focused on that.
Care about him sorting out running back?
Yeah.
If they go live, this is a good chance for running backs to, break tackles, make an impression, or get stripped, fumble the ball, and make a negative impression.
Yeah, I do think that, I'm looking at Ropati right now, but the young kid, Hwanga, is that how you say his name?
Hwanga.
He's in the mix, man. There's no doubt about it. He's going to see time, depending on, I can't tell you how much time, but he's going to see time. If he does well, he could end up being the guy at this point. Yeah, with Martin having his injury issues there. And that's important too, no doubt about it. Tight end, I think they got ideas, but somebody could break out and just demand, and somebody can get hot, and a quarterback can find confidence in some of these guys.
To that point, PK, Matava Taase, who's one of the guys who was in the mix at tight end last year, he started training camp as the 8th-string guy, ended up as 2nd string by the end of camp.
Yeah, geez, that's Steve Young all over again, part 2.
Yeah, right.
50 years apart.
Yeah, they're going to be
dramatic.
Super Bowl MVP coming up,
Oh, he's got to get to that point when he replaces Kelsey. Give him time.
Nice.
Aaron Dunn, offensive lineman, Spanish Fork High School, highly sought-after recruit. USC, Oregon, UCLA, and BYU, I guess, were in for a while. USC and Oregon were finalists, but he picks the University of Utah. Rated the number 2 player in the state in 2025.
Model. Is he a Mission kid?
Not as far as I'm aware. Plans to play right away.
Yeah, okay. Good, because I'm running out of time here. Can't have these kids going on missions, man. I may not be here when they get back.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
3-1, high fly ball, deep right, going back is Laureano, looking up, it is gone! Jackson Churiel! Major League Baseball has been put on notice. The 20-year-old with a multi-home run game, and the Brewers with a season-high 6 home runs.
Swung on and crushed way out to left center field. Hillier's just a spectator as this one goes halfway up the seats and left. Number 2 this afternoon for Pete Alonso, and it's a 5-0 Mets lead in the 3rd.
Swinging a line drive into right field, coming in, diving, and missing the ball, delayed. Here comes Raley. Here comes Rosarena. Here comes Bliss. The throw, no relay to the plate. The Mariners win it. A line drive into right field. Delayed came in, dove. The ball got on by. 3 runs are in, and the Mariners walk it off. They win it 4-3 over the Tigers.
Highlights around Major League Baseball. The Atlanta Braves, who've been in the playoffs 6 years in a row, get beat by the Brewers 16-7, and they have fallen out of the wild card spot, PK. They're on the outside looking in. And not by much, and there's 2 months to go, but an unusual situation for the Braves right now.
A lot of injuries catching up to them. The game was on MLB Network. Nobody showed up, man. Those fair weather fans. Because it was a day game. It was hot. It was over 90.
You also heard the Mets beating the Rockies in there. The Mets have claimed the last wild card berth, moving past the Braves, and they blow out the Rockies 9-1 as Pete Alonso goes deep. Pair of home runs for him in the victory. Phillies leading that division. They pick up a win, 6-4. JT Realmuto homering for the first time since late May, and the Phillies picking up a W, lead the division by 8. They are rolling right now. Diamondbacks in the wild card race. Padres got 3 in the 9th to beat the Pirates 7-6. They're in the wild card race as well. I guess this is what they wanted when they put in 3 wild cards. Keep all the teams around 500 alive. Keep hope alive.
Yeah, well, they're well above 500. They're in a divisional race.
They are now 2.5 back of the Dodgers. 12 games over. Braves are 3 back of there on the outside.
Okay, so if the Braves are still there, then the Dodgers are in a wild card race too.
They've got that as the cushion in case the injuries keep giving them a problem, which they seem to do. Their issues don't seem like they're going to change anytime soon. Dodgers got the day off. And you heard the Mariners walk it off. They beat the Tigers 4-3. And the Seattle Mariners tied with the Astros, percentage point behind in the race for the division lead in the AL West. Bees, the 4-game losing streak is over. They beat the Las Vegas Aviators 6-0 at Smith's Ballpark. They get the shutout, same two teams tonight. Coverage starts here on The Zone at 6:30 with Tony Parks. DJ and PK.
#golf.
Wind and rain, Tropical Storm Debbie messing with the Wyndham Championship. Start delayed until today. We'll see how much golf they're able to play, and it might end up being a Monday finish. Maybe a couple marathon sessions will get them back on track. This tournament's a big one because it sets the top 70 players in the FedEx Cup who advance to the FedEx Cup playoffs. And Phil Mickelson says he would step aside from competing in LIV Golf if he cannot play at the level he desires. Told reporters, I see glimpses, my teammates see glimpses of me being where I expect to be to compete at this level, but I'm also realistic with myself, and if I'm not able, I'll step aside and let somebody else come on in and take the high flyers to new levels.
He's already stepped aside. He's playing in the LIV, which is irrelevant, and he's 54 years old. This is life.
That combination, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's already happened.
What is Trending is brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Coming up at 8 o'clock, BYU wide receiver Darius Lasser will join us. 9 o'clock, Brett Ciancia, owner and publisher of Pick 6 Previews, here to talk college football at 9 o'clock. DJ and PK, the quarterback battle. Next, the question of the day is on the way right here on The Zone.